Hey everybody, and welcome to quite possibly the most self-indulgent video I think I've ever done. This is about the ISTJ personality. And ISTJ, of course, is one of the 16 personality types according to the Myers Briggs Type Indicator. So I myself am an ISTJ, and maybe you are too. If you are, hopefully this will be somewhat interesting to you. I'm going to explore the ISTJ personality, and I'm going to relate to how that has affected me in my career and how it's helped me relate to business and management. And if you are in business or management, or you're taking a supervisory position or a management position, and you happen to be an ISTJ, then you may find this useful because if you're anything like me, maybe this will give you ideas and hopefully create a little bit more self-awareness from what you have so far. So I'm going to read a definition here of ISTJ, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, here we go. The ISTJ greatly appreciates order and organization in general. So let's see if this strikes a chord with you. They carefully plan their daily life and their surrounding environment. They pay great attention to detail in their work and are not satisfied until they have finished their task. In real life, as in works of fiction, they are often disappointed by problems that remain unsolved. Now, I don't know about you, but this is me to a T. The ISTJ is loyal, logical, organized, sensitive, and a traditionalist. They excel in their perfectionism and reliability. Not hesitating to leave aside distractions when necessary, they have a logical and practical approach to their efforts. Realistic and responsible, they work regularly toward goals in which they have conscious knowledge. They like to organize things, both in their personal and professional lives. Although they focus on their internal world, ISTJs prefer to deal with the concrete and the factual. Keen observers, they assess various options when making decisions. ISTJs are ready for any eventuality and have a good understanding of most situations. They believe in practical goals and place great value on loyalty and tradition. Hopefully this is striking a chord with you so far. Let's go deeper. ISTJs learn and apply themselves towards subjects that they consider useful in practice. They need instruction to learn, specific examples, and usually ask for some clarification from their teachers before trusting them. If you've ever questioned your teacher and don't really take things at face value, you might relate to this. They prefer concrete and useful applications and only tolerate theory if it is an effective means of achieving practical ends. The activities ISTJs enjoy most are those that get them thinking and giving them time to do it. That's why I used to hate exams that had strict time limits in high school. Subjects which seem too easy or too amusing cause them to doubt their merit. Through their practical perception of things, ISTJs clearly differentiate between work and play. Yeah, so if you have an outside sales type job where that line blurs or you're always on call, that you may have a problem with this. Some people don't, but ISTJs definitely do. Okay, let's see here. I'll just scroll up here. ISTJs respect facts. They have a great memory and store a great deal of facts gathered by their sensing function. They may find it difficult to value a theory or idea that differs from their own perspective. That can be a total weakness, by the way. However, if they are convinced of the validity or relevance of an idea by someone they respect or appreciate, the idea becomes a fact to them, which the ISTJ will internalize and strongly support. That is exactly how I think. Maybe you can relate. ISTJs work for long periods of time, devoting their energy to important tasks for a given purpose. However, they do not like to use this energy for things that do not make sense to them, or for which they see no practical application. They prefer to work alone, but I guess that means they can work very well in a team when the situation requires it. They like to feel responsible for their actions and appreciate positions of responsibility. That's one of the reasons why I went into management, because I like being in charge. Some people don't. ISTJs do. They use very few theories or abstract thinking unless they clearly result in practical applications. In general, ISTJs are capable, logical, reasonable, and efficient workers with a deep desire for peace and security. They can be very effective in accomplishing their goals. So there you go. That's kind of an overview of it. Now, if anyone is wondering, that actually, this description, it came from Wikipedia. A long time ago, Wikipedia used to have a page on ISTJs, and it basically said that. And that page has since been merged and combined and stuff. So it's not there anymore. But what I did is I took the definition from the French language Wikipedia and I translated it. And that's where the description comes from that I just read to you. So that's an ISTJ. Now, what I have found, being an ISTJ and working and having a career in business and management, what I found is that being of this personality type, it gives me a very strong strength, I guess you could call it, in terms of being organized and being able to, I know this is a total cliche, but bring order to chaos. And in my career, I have excelled in situations where you walk into a situation that's just chaos and you're given a little bit of authority and you're given a little bit of time, and you can organize, you can standardize, and you can systematize that situation, that business operation or that department or whatever it is. And because when you walk into that situation, the way these people are operating maybe is they're running around putting out fires. They're just flying by the seat of their pants. Everything's at the last minute. Everything's at the 11th hour, and it's chaos. And it's hard to improve that type of situation. So being an ISTJ and caring deeply about being organized and, having things, predictable through organization, you can walk into that situation and you can improve it. And after you've had, in effect, that situation, they're no longer running around, doing everything at the last minute, putting out fires. Everything is calm and orderly and under control. And once things are standardized and organized and systematized, you can then improve that situation and you can show results for your work. And so I have found that being an ISTJ, it really helps with those type of situations. There's a real opportunity for you to excel and you to show great results when you walk into that type of situation. Now, I think I mentioned it earlier, but a couple of weaknesses of an ISTJ, at least in my case, was number one, as I said, if you're given something to do and you don't understand why you're doing it or it doesn't make any sense, it can be a real problem. And that's landed me in trouble quite a few times in my career when I would complain a little too loudly. And it was because of that, because I don't see the need for having to do something, and I had a real problem with it. And you give the impression of a disgruntled employee or a very problematic employee, which may not be the case. It's just that that's your natural reaction to being told to do something that doesn't make any sense. There are a lot of different types of people in this world, people that you could tell them, okay, I need you to go dig a few holes and fill them back in. And they're okay with that. They just say, hey, I'm just punching a clock and I'll do whatever the hell you want, for the time I'm here, that's what you want me to do. Sure. But people like me, ISTJs, possibly someone like you, that doesn't sit very well with them. They don't like being asked to do something that doesn't make any sense, and it can land you into a heap of trouble. That's one weakness. Now, the other big weakness that I have found in myself, as an ISTJ, are the people skills. Okay, it gives you great skills with organization and with planning and stuff like that, but the where you have to pay the piper is a lack of people skills. And when I was in my 20s, I did not have the self-awareness to realize that I had a weakness in this area. In my 30s, I started doing something about it. And the great news is that if this is you, it's very easy to tack on the people skills component. In my 20s, I did not have a lot of tact. I did not have a lot of charisma. I was not a great communicator. I was not a great collaborator. And I didn't recognize it, but these were weaknesses. And in my 30s, the trigger for wanting to improve and realizing this was a problem was seeing other people who had great people skills and seeing the great results that they were getting and thinking, you know what, I wish I could get those same kind of results. Why can't I get those kind of results? Why can't I have that effect? And it started the process of realization that you need more people skills. You got a real weakness. So practice makes perfect. Having a respect for people skills, then you realize it's a good thing, and then you want to try and add them on. And if you can do that, it can lead to great things. But that's what I found. It took me many, many years to realize that this was a problem with me. And it was because of my personality. But it's easily solvable, easily fixable if you realize the importance of it. So there you go. So hopefully, if you're an ISTJ, you can relate to some of the stuff that I talked about in this video. I know there's some people out there that really, really don't believe in the Myers Briggs Type Indicator, and that's cool. I also find, though, that people think it can predict things that it can't. Like, the most common is that people think it can predict whether you're going to be good at a certain job, and that's just not the case. That's not what it's for. That's not what it does. It basically describes how you relate to situations and other people. So I found it very useful in organizations dealing with communication issues. If you have an entire department of engineers who are all ISTJs or something similar, and the person in charge is maybe the opposite personality type, and they're trying to communicate in a way that the engineers understand, that's where this stuff can really make a difference. So yeah, so there you go. So hopefully you found this useful, and please like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I will put a link in this video to a video I did on how to take the Myers Briggs test. If you're interested in doing that, it's totally free. I have no vested interest. I think it's a very useful tool. Is it the be all end all? No, of course not. Is it a useful tool? Yes. Also, check out my Patreon, because I'm trying something new in the last month. I'm going to be doing extra videos. I have done some extra videos that are not on my channel. They're on Patreon. So if you join my Patreon, you get access to those. So check that out. Thank you very much for your attention. Let me know in the comments what your reaction was to this, if this was helpful or it was a total waste of time, or you have any questions, or you'd like to see another type of video. Please let me know. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a great week. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.